with Amanda, where I review books, manga, and I occasionally do silent vlogs. So today I will be doing a book review on Dyer's Club by Kimberly Packard. And this is a Lone Star Literary Life book. I have talked about them before, but just a quick synopsis. Lone Star Literary Life is a company here in Texas that helps Texas authors spread the word of their books coming out. They are also a great resource for all things bookish in Texas, such as like events coming out, new books coming out, and up and coming authors coming out as well. So if you're interested in that, I will link their website down below, and I also have a written review of this review, so I'll link that below as well. And there's also a raffle that you can enter if you go onto my blog spot too. So a little bit about our author. She is an award-winning author of edgy women's fiction. She resides in Texas with her husband, her cat, and her puppy. Her debut novel was Phoenix and was awarded as Best General Fiction of 2013 by the Texas Association of Authors. She's also the author of many other books such as Christmas Novella, The Crazy Eights, the sequels to Phoenix, Pardon Falls, and Prospera Pass, Vortex, and the book we're going to be reading today, Dyer's Club. She was honored as one of the top 10 hot young authors by Southern Methodist University in 2019. And so a little bit about the book. I'll read the back part first and then we'll get into the review. So, dying is hardest on the ones left behind. That's where Dyer's Club steps in, a specialty travel agency that takes a small group of dying people on one final adventure so they can be free of guilt, be more than a diagnosis, and find a way to confront life and death. Life coach Charlotte Claybrook built a successful second career guiding people out of grief, but the impending 10th anniversary of her own heart-wrenching tragedy sets her on a journey to find life among the dying. Staring death in the face with Jimmy Dyer's business, he met it with a warm hug, a kind heart, and a smile. Dyer's Club gave the terminally ill one final bucket list adventure before passing on, but dying was expensive. The bills, like Jimmy's lies, were piling up. It's only a matter of time before he's forced to face a different type of death. A rock god, a telenovela star, a grandmother living her lifelong dream, and a young tech genius round out this group of strangers facing death together. But when tragedy strikes, their bond is shattered. Lies and fraud surface, and forcing the dying to come together to save someone's life. But everybody dies. The lucky ones have fun doing it. So this book deals a lot with death. I feel like that's something that people don't really like to talk about much or think about much, but I feel like the author does a great job of portraying death. She portrays it from many different points of view, from the people that are dying to the people that have experienced somebody really close to them dying. And we also get to explore different characters and how they are dealing with their own death and the death of their loved ones. And we get a great cast, and with this brings a great cast of different characters, different dynamics, different personality really brought to life in this story. For instance, we see the grandmother. She is dying from Alzheimer's, and so her death experience is completely different from our tech guy, our young tech guy who's only 23 and he's experiencing a very young death versus the grandmother she's having Alzheimer's, and so she's already like in her 60s, so she's already lived a full life. So we just get to see that dynamic and how they come to terms with their death and the joys and sorrow that come with it. Because even though the grandmother is a little more okay with death, it still hurts her in a different way versus the tech guy versus everybody else who is experiencing death. So the author does a great job of just showing this diversity, and not only with death itself, but dealing with people who have lost somebody really close to them. We see two different dynamics. We see one character who's dealing with their mother who's currently dying, or she's getting older and she's dying in a nursing home, and so we see her dealing with her impending death versus our main character Charlotte. We see her having a unexpected death of a loved one, and so how they're dealing with it as well, and dealing with impending death, like they know their loved one's going to die, versus someone dealing with a death that was unexpected and how that affected them. And so we just get to see this really big, this term, this thing that happens to us all. And I think the author just does a great job of telling the whole picture of death and seeing it from different angles. And it's in a very entertaining way. I feel like when some people write about death, it's very gruesome, it's very horrifying, or it's traumatic. And with Dyer's Club, that's not really the case. We get to see different points of view. We get to see that joys that come with it, the sadness that comes with it, and the lesson to live your life, because tomorrow is not guaranteed. And so I just think the author does a great job of portraying death. She just does a great job of portraying the characters, and this is just a great book overall. So I do give Dyer's Club a 5 out of 5. I do highly recommend this book. It's a great one, especially if you're someone who's kind of nervous or scared about death. This is one that just kind of puts things in a different perspective I think we can all appreciate. Well, thank you for sticking around to the end. If you enjoy this type of content, please like and subscribe. And until next time, happy reading.